Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of October 19th through the 25th. And during that time, we have a few different moon energies. We've got the waning crescent, which is definitely about surrender, rest, and healing. So give yourself a good couple of days to really rest up and just let go and get your bodies energized for the next phase of the for the next phase that we're entering into. Sorry, my brain is like, what? Which is the new moon. And that comes in on the 21st and the 22nd, somewhere kind of depending on where you are. But that energy will kind of linger around for both of those days. And of course, a new moon is about a fresh start, new beginnings, good time to start new projects or make new decisions. We then move into the waxing crescent, which is just a time of heightened energy when it's a really good time to buckle down and work on those things that you've just started. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Virgo. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. All right, Virgo, and your overall message for this reading, if I can pick this card up, I've got a band-aid here. Everything's slippery on me here. Communication is key. All right, let's see what the Virgo collective needs to communicate about this week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that my fun reminder for the week is that you just notice the world around you when it comes to synchronicity. So, this could be anything from animals that you don't always see that maybe you happen to see, or repeating number patterns, songs, maybe a conversation that you overhear. But take some time to watch for those synchronicities as the universe speaks to you on, and these are like little breadcrumbs. I like to think of like the universe trying to kind of lead you to a place to learn something, realize something, maybe send you off on a new path in a new direction. So it's just those signs are always out there, and it's a good time to try to recognize those things. If you need to take notes on them, that's why I also recommend that you keep a spiritual journal, because you might not, those messages might not make sense if you just see one or two at a time. But when you start taking notes on those and adding, kind of looking at the bigger picture of those messages that you're getting, sometimes you can really have realizations on things then. So anyway, I will quit babbling about it, but that is my fun weekly reminder for you, Virgo. All right, without further ado, let's get into this reading. Virgo, October 19th through the 25th. Communication is key. And your overall present energy is the Six of Cups. So communication is key, and perhaps you're communicating with someone from your past, someone from your childhood. That Six of Cups card is always kind of reminiscent of an earlier time, and again, could be childhood, someone in your youth, and maybe there's just something that needs to be communicated, or you're just enjoying communicating with this person. It might be someone that has come up that maybe you haven't talked to in a while, and all of a sudden they hopped on your social media or somehow contacted you, or you them, if you were thinking of them. But if there is someone that you're thinking about, maybe reach out to that person. Your current situation, is reach. Look at that, two of cups. So this could be an old friend that you have, maybe someone that you just haven't talked to. Life gets busy, so reach out to that person. If they're on your mind, reach out to them. Hey, how you doing? Just wanted to check in, see what life is going on. It may just be a message for you here, if you're hearing it here, that they need a friend right now, or they need someone to reach out to them. So if there's someone coming to mind for you, of course, reach out to them and just say hello, check in with them. At the root of this situation, well, it could be Five of Wands. So perhaps you left previously on not the best note. It could be maybe there was some sort of debate or argument or something that went on, or because this is kind of at the root of this situation, there might have been some debate or something that you've had with a friend that made you think of this other friend. So go ahead and reach out to them, whatever that situation might be for you. But it looks like the root of this is some kind of debate. Like, I don't like to say argument all the time, because sometimes it is just as light as debate, and fun, friendly debate. It doesn't have to be, contentious all the time. But definitely a differing of opinions somewhere, and something has just, made you think of this person, or you left off with that person maybe on the wrong foot too. That could be also as well. What is in your recent past is that, yeah, you've been really busy working here, and maybe you just haven't, that's really why you haven't reached out to this person. It could be just, and that happens to all of us, life gets busy, and all of a sudden you're like, I haven't talked to so and so in a few months, or whatever the time frame may be. But it looks like you've been hard at work, and although that's an excuse, I get it, but don't let that be the excuse that keeps you from doing that and moving forward and contacting that person if they're on your mind right now. What is on your mind right now is the Seven of Wands here. So the Five of Wands and the Seven of Wands, which I kind of see these cards as being related. This card is really about feeling like you against the world. And sometimes it's about holding your ground. And I see these other, if you see these wands sticking up here, I always kind of think of this being the top part of this card, or that this person is one of these people kind of engaged in that. In fact, it almost looks like this one right there. So that you're engaged in something, you're feeling like it's you against the world, and maybe that's why. Maybe you have been having a debate, and that this person is kind of a kindred spirit, someone who makes you feel less like it's you against the world, because you kind of are on the same page typically. So you might just want to reach out to someone there, communicate that to them, that, hey, in my current friend group, there's no one that's really that has my back like you do, or really understands where I'm coming from. So, and that just, sometimes that's that comfort of an old friend, right? What is just ahead of you is the World card. So I like that. That's a card of perfect balance. This is the end of the Fool's journey. This is the card of, dreams coming true, good, perfect harmony. Just being in a really, really good place, kind of just accepting where things are. This is a card of fulfillment. um just, the world's just in a really good place, and that's what's ahead of you this week. So really good energy with that too. And it could be that this friend has something to do with that it just makes you feel like, okay, all is right in the world, my friend is fine. We had a great conversation, and it just makes you feel that much better. In your advice position is the Judgment card. So, and are you making a judgment? And judgment doesn't have to be a negative thing. I mean, it could be that you judge that you haven't spent time with this friend, and the judgment is, I need to get with this friend, I need to go visit them more often, pick up the phone more often. And a lot of times we say that, but maybe you're going to actually do it and really just spend more time with that friend. Are you judgmental of yourself a little bit for not doing that? And if so, just let it go. The advice is that it's okay to have those judgments. It is in your advice position. It's okay to have those judgments, as long as you kind of, if it's negative, rectify it, and if it's positive, kind of come to terms with it, right? And try to do the thing that is, like I said, the judgment is, oh, I'm judging myself because we're not spending enough time together, then really put it on your calendar to spend time with that person, and try to make good on that. What is beyond your control this week is the Queen of Wands. So this is definitely coming to that understanding, probably through this judgment of the things that you really, really enjoy. To me, it looks like you just really enjoy this person. So don't not enjoy them. Don't put so much time between you and them next time. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Knight of Cups, which is definitely coming together. We've got these cups here. I mean, everything about this reading just says yes. Go ahead and offer, let that friend know what you're feeling, what you're thinking. I love this reading. This is just a warm, fuzzy reading here. In your outcome position is the Wheel of Fortune. So I love when the Wheel of Fortune and the World card appear, or these cards kind of appear together, because I kind of see them, the World card's kind of about the outcome, like that everything's great and awesome. But the Wheel of Fortune is a little further back in the Fool's journey, and it's about how one phone call can change everything. I would just mention this earlier in a reading, and maybe reaching out to this friend changes something for them or for you, in the positive manner. So I love that. Think about the Wheel of Fortune, is that it just, life can change on a dime. And that to me is what that card represents, is that you spin that wheel. All of us get up in the morning and we spin that wheel. We don't know what's going to change our life that day. And it could be in a very positive way, sometimes negative, of course, but and also sometimes those negatives lead to that positive down the road. It's hard to see when you're in it sometimes, but I feel like I'm really getting the feeling that your life and maybe this person's life also can be changed by reaching out to them. So I just think it's so important for you to do. What is hidden from you this week? Yeah, look, heartbreak. And if you've had this before with this person or about the situation with this person, it's hidden. So, and maybe you cure that. Maybe if you have been kind of feeling like, oh, like I said, a little bit of guilt, there might be some judgment about that. Just make sure if you're feeling that you really do make that decision to spend more time together, to get together and see each other more often and really stick to that. Don't just be one of those things where you just say it and don't do it. So, all right, let's take a look at the Soul Oracle deck and get a final word here. Final word for Virgo, October 19th through 25th, as they reach out to this old friend. Speak up. Wow. I mean, your overall message was communication is key. Nothing can be pointing you more towards speaking up, getting with this person. I mean, this whole reading kind of points to it. All right. In the way of self-care here for Virgo, how do you need to take care of yourself this week? Self-care for Virgo, October 19th through the 25th. And the card is the card called Surrender. Look at the art on that. How cute is that? Surrender. Stop trying to control life. It gets in the way of divine intervention. I love this card because of this card as well. That's what I was talking about, how, anything could change your life. We just don't know. Each day can bring something that is completely, completely life-changing. And either you need this or this other person or the both of you might need that as well. So stop trying to control life. It gets in the way of divine intervention. There does seem to be some divine intervention here that wants you to reach out to this person. It could be that you're listening to this tarot reading, but I do think it was some sort of disruption or debate or something has made you think of this person, and you know exactly who I'm talking about, don't you? So Virgo, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down in the comment section and let me know, was there someone you're thinking about? Did you reach out to that person? I'd be very curious to know. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, but more importantly, it'll help you find me next week where we can see where this story goes and see, I'm kind of curious, did you reach out to this friend or not? And we'll see where the story goes. And maybe there's a different energy that pops up for you next week. But good luck with this, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.